And downtown police are engaging protesters tampering with a new fence that was put around the federal courthouse building just today. People gathered around it earlier today as one man tried to decorate that fence with American flags. Well, KOIN 6's Jennifer Dowling spoke with him, and she joins us now live with a look at what is happening out there tonight. Jennifer, a lot happening right now, especially in the last half hour.
Yes, Wayne, it's really gotten active within the last half an hour. And that fence that we were talking about earlier is gone, but there used to be a fence up around the federal courthouse building there where people are now gathered. And we've seen so much happen within the past half hour or so. We saw people take down the fence, start barricading the doors here at the federal courthouse building. Then we saw the federal law enforcement come out. They were using impact munitions to clear people out, and they also launched some tear gas into the streets, and people fell back to about Southwest 4th and Salmon, about a block away or two. Now that the tear gas has again cleared, people came back and started messing around with the fence. Then we saw federal law enforcement come out in their camouflage uniforms, again, kind of push people back. Just slightly. There wasn't any tear gas used at that time, and now people have moved back in. So it's been a really crazy situation, but we were talking about that fence. There was a heftier fence, not the typical chain link fence, put up around the federal courthouse building earlier in the day, and we found a man there who was putting up flags saying he fought for the country in the Marine Corps and wanted to decorate the fence with the flag as a symbol of unity, prompting some heated discussions from others who don't agree with its symbolism. Friday night, federal law enforcement officers fired tear gas and impact munitions like pepper balls at protesters. People responded by launching fireworks at the Justice Center.
It's not all Black Lives Matter. I think there's some troublemakers down here in the group launching mortars at this place, trying to burn it down. This is, to me, is ludicrous.
Fed up with the noise of war outside his windows and tear gas flowing into his downtown apartment.
Spent 8 years in the Marine Corps.
Gabriel Johnson and a friend arrived at the federal courthouse to stage their own demonstration this afternoon.
I have tremendous PTSD. So 85 flashbangs, tear gas in my apartment is very triggering. And part of that trigger is the only way to stop it is to be about change.
Last night we heard like 80 pops, and we're just, sitting in the living room and just thinking to ourselves, what country are we in right now?
The two tried to decorate the new fence outside the federal courthouse with American flags, hoping to symbolize their vision of unity.
We deserve better. We deserve to be brought together.
But the flags became a flashpoint, attracting those who see it as divisive, a symbol of oppression or politicized. One woman even grabbed one of the flags, throwing it to the ground. Others debated what it means to them.
And my narrative is simply we all need to come together. Man, that's it. So you're mad at me because I got a flag.
I have a reason to be angry. I totally respect what the flag means to you and you to be here for. I think that it is so tough because right now it's like one of those things where it's been so politicized, or like it's used as a wedge in a way.
Gabe agrees with protesters on some points. He opposes the use of federal law enforcement officers in the city.
We shouldn't have paramilitary forces in our street.
But overall, the two sides represent a divide in the country Gabe hopes can eventually be healed.
I support the city. I support the police. I support us coming together because it's about time. It's been 60+ days of us being out in the street, and like, what's been accomplished?
And back here at the Justice Center, people are banging on the walls or the doors of the federal courthouse building. We can hear them back here, and they're chanting, and they've pushed back in again after we've seen a couple surges of police activity, one involving tear gas and those non-lethal munitions. But Portland protesters are persistent, and they are back. We also have some popping that you hear behind me from the fire. It sounds like somebody might have thrown some of those popper firecrackers in there. That's at the site of the elk statue. We've seen bonfires there for weeks now since the protests have begun, and they moved that elk statue a few weeks ago. Also, we've had a confrontation going on Southwest Main here between some folks that had walked up to see what was going on. I'm not sure what the discussion is about, but we've heard some yelling, and it looks like, oh wow, it looks like maybe it's getting physical there with a man. in a blue or lighter colored shirt and some people in black. Looks like things are getting tense down here. Let's follow that action for a little bit. Not sure what's going on exactly, but we've seen disagreements and some infighting between protest groups or between people in the crowd or people who come to the protest and then other people. So I'm not sure what's going on. We're going to continue to monitor. We're also going to have that available on our live stream.